G'day everybody and welcome to the House of Mario, the South Australian Nintendo podcast that is backed by a 120 Power Star rating. I'm your host Drew Agnew and the doors to episode 307 are open. This week on the show, we're only days away from Switch 2 being officially revealed, and Josh and I, we're looking forward to diving into, last minute predictions, hopes, dreams, and everything we hope from Nintendo's next generation of consoles. And we found out about the Switch 2 edition of Nintendo Switch 2 games. So we're going to talk a little bit about what Nintendo Switch 1 games we want to have enhancements. But to talk a little about that is my good mate Josh, or JT if you like. Josh, how you going, mate?
Hello, Drew. Hello, listeners, viewers. It is real. It is 48 hours and counting, I reckon. Well, a bit over as at the time of recording here. Man, like these 2.5 months kind of flew by in a way. I don't know. It's been pretty quick. Like I'm ready. It's been a long wait in other aspects, but it's finally here. We get to finally see what Nintendo's got in store for Switch 2 and all the details. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait. It's going to be fun to predict and chat about what we think is going to happen.
Yeah, it felt like it was, a week ago I was whinging about how long it was going to take and, 2 months away, Jesus Christ, but...
2.5. It was 2.5 months.
Yeah, and it seemed to fly by so quick. And maybe a part of that was we had 3 weeks off, so we didn't have to think about Nintendo as in depth as we...
I wasn't thinking about it as much during that period, if I'm going to be honest, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. And I had the time off and I don't know what I was doing. Probably fuck all, Don't have to record the House of Mario.
That's and tending to your family. That's what you were doing, Dre.
Yeah, this podcast is my only responsibility, so I had nothing to do when you were away. So that was good. But how you going, Josh? I was going to say, how's your week going? But it hasn't even been a week since we last recorded because of the last Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, I asked someone that today, and they said, "Yeah, my weekend's been good." I'm like, "Yep, that's what I should have asked." But now good. Work's been all right. Back into that. My running, umpiring. It's all back to, the first proper round started over the weekend. So that started. I went to the Crows game. So it's just footy for me at this time of year. And it probably will be for the next 5 months or so. So that keeps me busy on the weekend. And then every other fortnight I record a podcast and obviously hang with you and... try and fit other things in between. So it's just a busy time of year for me, which is good and bad, I suppose. I really do enjoy it, though.
Yeah. Oh, well, I like hearing about your week, Josh, because got to fit the footy in. I've got friends, family to visit, got all this. And I'm just here with 2 kids, and I'm just living vicariously through you, trying to suck some of your youthful energy. Yeah. Even though you're older than me by a few months, I'm trying to just, get your social energy. And it helps. Honestly, talking to you.
It helps.
It reminds me that I need to straighten my back and take a breath and all right, let's keep going.
I mean, yeah, someone who's not as frantically into Baby Shark and all the other things that maybe you and Lucas and
oh no, we're all about Baby Shark here, mate.
Baby Shark. I'm just saying you can talk about something else with me, and I can tell you all about my social endeavors because yes, we keep busy. That's for sure.
Yeah, look, I could tell you all about Baby Shark, or if you've ever got a nephew or something like that, who's look, Uncle Josh, tell me about Baby Shark. You're just get on the phone, go beep beep bop bop, put my number in the phone, and give us a call, and I'll be able to tell you just how frustrating Baby Shark really is.
Well, I'll call you for that, and also Thomas the Tank Engine, as I've found out in previous episodes. You're very much into that. So.
Oh yeah. I was look that's maximum childhood nostalgia for me. Thomas the Tank Engine, and look, I'm trying to get my son into it, the old stuff. So that isn't even me having a baby. I could have sat down with you when I was 15 years old. But all right, this is where the good shit's at. I love Thomas the Tank Engine. There's a few different eras of Thomas the Tank Engine. There's just peak Thomas the Tank Engine from
the ones that we would have seen growing up.
That's right. From Britt Allcroft who uses the models and everything, and then there was Thomas Thomas the Tank Engine was actually like bought by Mattel, the toy company,
Yes.
and then it was sort of downhill from there. Then it became like an animated show, went through like a real rough spot, and it is where it is today, where there's like this animated cartoon, which it's okay, it's a good kids show, but it's certainly not what it used to be.
No.
And yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I've gone down YouTube rabbit holes and everything. Thomas the Tank Engine. There's a Thomas the Tank Engine community. It's insane.
Oh yeah, it's what are they called? What Bronies is for My Little Pony and adult males following that. What's for Thomas the Tank Engine?
Oh, I don't know.
Adults.
Let's make it one here. I don't know. Tom heads, steam heads. Don't know. Blue boys,
Fat adults.
fat adults, like the fat controller.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
okay, maybe not fat adults.
It's not specific enough, is it?
No, not
Okay,
really.
well, think about it. If anyone thinks of anything better by the end of the show, let us know. Comments below.
Please.
Yeah. Anyway, they're probably not here for Thomas the Tank Engine lore and discussion and icebergs, are they?
No, well, there aren't many
No.
Thomas the Tank Engine games. I remember seeing one when I was a kid in Target. I think it was a PlayStation 2 iToy game. And look, I didn't have a PS2 or an iToy.
I mean, iToy's fun, but maybe not for Thomas.
Where did I play a Thomas game? I think I played it on Wii, on my modded Wii. I think I had a... Yes, I did. That's right. When I was just downloading games and chucking them on, I'm like, it was a Thomas game, so I tried it, and it's just like... It's like what you would expect to play on an iPod Touch back in the day, but
Yep.
it had like just like shake the remote to like move Thomas. Like there was like a bunch of mini games on there. It was absolutely awful. I didn't even see how my son could get enjoyment from it. But,
because I'm massively into Doctor Who as well, and then like there would always be like video games, and so they'd have their occasional video game, and it's a bunch of arse every time. It's horrible.
No.
It's no good. So yeah, I always wanted to get into those, but never could. And then subsequent ones would come out, and I'm like, no, it's just not happening. Not happening.
Is that a dream game for you? Like, there's like a Doctor Who like open world RPG. If they just like announced that, would you just lose your shit if they did that, or would you be like not so much? Or would like a Telltale sort of choose your own adventure be good for that type of game? Like, what would you want from a Doctor Who game since you're a massive fan?
I just don't think it works. It's a good game.
Oh, okay. That's fair enough. Well,
unless it
you've got your wish.
Maybe a visual novel. I don't know.
Visual novel.
I don't know. They've done like detective stories. I don't know. I don't want to know actually.
Okay.
Because I really think it's one of those things that it just wouldn't please everyone, and it wouldn't please me maybe. And they've tried. Don't worry, Drew. They've tried. They've tried to make games, and it's just not good.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Is it the BBC? Is that who?
It's the BBC.
Yeah, so I don't know how much funding they've got to like, chuck it into game development.
Yeah, they'll make it really puzzly, and then like they have so much emphasis on the sonic screwdriver, and I just hate that. And it's just like a cop out for storytelling. The sonic screwdriver just sort of it's a get out of jail free card every time.
I'm just imagining, using using that to like do like a block puzzle to make a picture. That's what the Doctor Who games are. It's pretty. Yeah.
Effectively.
No, fair enough. Well, I could imagine Switch 2 just like, the direct in a couple of days. There's new Mario. Next up is there's a brand new Doctor Who game. It's like, this is very Josh tailored. Everyone else is like, what the hell is this?
Pikmin and Metroid and
Pikmin 5, Metroid Prime, Doctor Who. It's like, what the fuck?
EVO2. Yeah, it'd be hell good.
And then there'll be like, then all of a sudden we'll be flying. Then we wake up. Like, oh, it was just a dream. We're in Josh's head or something.
Nothing like that.
Nothing like that. No. I guess just touching on the last Nintendo Direct, any sort of changed feelings on it since we last recorded? Anything that's changed in our thoughts?
I was really I was frustrated at first by the delay in the announcements, and I understand why they did it to sort of show that there's stuff coming for the Switch later on still, and that's all well and good, but they got the Rhythm Heaven and then the Tomodachi Life announcements, and the series I haven't really played before. Like Tomodachi, I really had no idea what it was about, and it was Mii's, but nothing really beyond that. And then Rhythm Heaven, I played the one on the DS, and that's about it. So I've just spent the last few days sort of reading up a bit on them, watching some videos, and really getting excited. I watched the Tomodachi Direct on the 3DS.
That's right, yes.
That Bill Trennan and all the Miis is like Miyamoto and Anuma, all that, and that is amazing. 10 minutes of Direct right there. That was like one of my favorite Direct videos. Like I've just never seen it before, and it was absolutely hilarious. And I'm actually really excited to play this game now. So much so I wanted to get it on 3DS. I thought I'll play the 3DS one. I went to eBay and it's $140 a copy or more.
I saw you posted about that.
Like,
yep.
That sucks about Nintendo collecting and just like even the not new, but the Mega Mix Rhythm Heaven. That's like $150 Australian.
Is it really?
Absolute joke. Like, you know, why aren't these still like these are small games and that's why there's less of them, but they're beloved. But like I'm just gonna have to wait. Unless I see it really cheap, I'm just gonna have to wait until 2026 to play those new entries instead.
Yeah, I remember buying it, and I actually bought it at Shin Tokyo, and I bought it for $50. And I remember at the time being like, "Fuck, like $50 for this." Like, it's
which one? Tomodachi.
Yeah, Tomodachi Life.
Yeah,
I remember buying it at Shin Tokyo in Adelaide.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh, $50. Like,
steal.
It's certainly a steal now.
Yeah.
Like if I was looking at a copy on eBay, but at the time it's like, man, like I'm not gonna play it that long type of thing. It's not the type of thing I'll like sit there for 20 hours and play. But it was a lot of fun just for what I did play and seeing all my Miis and all that together. So yeah, but that's a really frustrating thing with 3DS. Is just it went up in price so quick. Like it never
so fast.
Like. If you want to go and just get a 3DS in general, you're going to be paying how much it was retail at the time, if not more, especially for the special editions. I guess that's normal. But even getting like a normal like launch 3DS is still $200, or I haven't really looked for a launch 3DS, but you know, they're pretty expensive. Like especially like the new ones. And the games too, like because if like as you know, Josh, I'm really into sort of like my game collecting at the moment. Yes. And my favorite handheld I'd love to collect for is DS. But I honestly haven't gotten any DS games since my childhood. So I've only got my childhood games, which I got a decent amount. I got like 40 or 50 games. But I can't collect for them because I'm not willing to put down like $100 or $150 per game that I don't have.
That's so much, man. And then, you know, whether like, I don't know. You get it, and whether you play it a lot or just like play a couple hours just to get the feel of it, you know, it's a lot of money for the price of admission. Yeah,
that's right. Like, I mean, you mainly want it for like, you've got the manual, you've got a nice box, like, you know, you've got like a nice collection. Because it's like with DS games, we all know they're super easy to get your hands off if you just want to play them. Like with my DSi, took 5 minutes to hack. I can drop a ROM onto the SD card, put it straight into the DSi, and it plays just as well, if not more conveniently, than if I went and bought a copy. Like, you know, so if I want to play the games, that's fine. If I want to like experiment with it, and if I really like it, I'll get a copy. But just a bit frustrating. So I remember seeing it was one of the Pokemon Ranger games at the Toy Fair last year in Adelaide. I'm like, oh, like I've never actually looked into the price of the Ranger games or the Mystery Dungeon games, because like I wasn't really looking for them in particular, but it just came up in front of me, so I picked it up and I'm like, $160 for, you know, the third Pokemon Ranger game or whatever it is. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, and what kind of sucks is like, the games that I'm missing out of my, I guess, Pokemon collection would be a couple of Mystery Dungeon games, and the Ranger games. I never actually played the Ranger games back in the day, so I'm like, oh, maybe I'll bite on those one day when I'm like, I'll look at them, I'll save up for them, I'll wish list a few on eBay and see if I can find a deal and all that. But that time's not now. But
no.
I feel especially bad though for like people that want to get like Heart Gold or Soul Silver or something. Like Soul Silver just by itself at a cash converters was like almost $300. Didn't even have the Poké Walker or the cardboard or anything. And
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing I was looking at was a boxed box, just the box for Pokemon Ruby on Game Boy Advance. That was $240 just for the box and the manual and the stuff.
God, really?
So, like, if I was gonna spend stupid money on anything, it would be probably that Ruby box to complete my my cartridge. And then I've got Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald together. So
Yeah.
that's my stupid money purchase, but that's certainly not happening anytime soon in this economy. You know, I'm not going to buy an expensive box. So
No,
we've switched to around the corner. Probably not going to happen, eh?
Yeah.
Because
I get it.
I actually I wish listed it or hearted it or whatever on eBay, and they sent me an offer. I'm like, yeah, no, you're gonna have to sell it to me pretty cheap, I reckon, for me to click that button.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen.
No, man, it's a dangerous rabbit hole to get down. So let's talk about current stuff, Josh. Stuff that isn't even out yet, because we can set our sights to. We don't even know how much Switch 2 is, so we can live in a fantasy land where it's very cheap and it won't blow your budget. But we talk a lot about like the US price, Josh. We're looking at about $400. What are we thinking for the Australian price? Because usually it doesn't just like straight translate to Australian. They usually chuck a little bit more on it so they can cover, you know, tariffs and all this shit that's going to happen to America in the coming months.
Yeah. So what? If you do a quick currency conversion, $400 is about 634 Australian, and if the price is 400 US, I don't know if it will be. I'm thinking leaning more towards 450. I don't know. Yeah, I know the Switch over there is 300, so to 400 is a big jump. I'm just but then the tariffs, so then I go back to 400. I don't think it's 500. It's gonna be 500.
No.
But I think for Australia, it's about 540 for an OLED at the moment. I think around 650, higher 600s is what we're going to be paying if it's a $400 Switch 2.
Yeah. I'm kind of expecting between 600 and 650 Australian, but like the closer it gets to 700, the more like sticker shock I'll get. Like when I'm going to put the deposit down, I'm like, fuck, like I've got to, you know, there's a couple more bucks I got to find chuck towards this thing, or maybe a less game, or I won't be quite as just willy nilly getting everything off the shelf when it comes to games that I want at launch. So yeah, I'm kind of expecting that too. Expecting it and kind of hoping for it, because it's kind of like it's not going to be like it. In reality, it should be like a not too much difference of a price to the Switch, because the Switch has been that price for 8 years. So it kind of should just slot in almost at a similar price, a little bit more, I guess, just with inflation and everything that's happened in between. Obviously, that's a big component of why the price hasn't changed.
Yep.
But I mean, in some ways, we shouldn't expect like a massive jump, but
I just think it's the latest thing. The inflationary pressures have been massive over the last 4 years. Starting to cool down now, but we just against the US dollar, it's always, they always tend to put the buffer on our prices, so we tend to pay a bit more. So I just think, it's $400 is currently 635 Australian. The US dollar is pretty strong against the Australian dollar at the moment, so maybe you could say, it's not going to add too much. 650 might be around about it, but we just don't know. I think the mid 600s it sounds about right.
It's interesting too when it comes to the Australian price, because like for American or anybody who lives abroad, when it comes to the Australian prices, they really don't give a shit, because in America, like, it's like, we need it to look good. We need it to be $299.99. We need it to look good, fit in the marketing, everything. But here it's just like, look, rough translate it, chuck a couple of bucks on top of it, and that's the price.
Well,
like the Wii U was what, $430? It's like
$429.95.
Yeah, it's like, that's a weird price. And
then they had $50 for the Switch. Then they had another $70 for the OLED. It's it's never like straight 400 or 450, is it? It's always the weird in between.
No, but it did used to be like the Wii was 400, the DS
Yes.
was 200. Like they sort of used to try. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know what the go is. Like it's not that important. Look, like it's just like
Mm.
the American market is just so important to these companies that they get it right there, and we sort of just subsidize it a little bit. That's why I'm worried about the tariffs, even though we're not American. When they go to like make up that money elsewhere, they're going to look to like Australia and UK and just every other country to try and make up the tariffs so they don't have to overcharge the American consumers so much. Don't know. I hope I'm wrong. I hope
Sure.
nobody gets cops it. But I certainly don't want to cop Donald Trump's fucking ideas here, for my video games.
Yeah, well, if he really wants Microsoft to succeed in the gaming market, tariffs might be the way to go, and get all these Americans buying an Xbox instead of a PlayStation or a Switch too. I don't know. Yeah, it is concerning, isn't it? Because we're not just going to get increased hardware. It's the software is going to be more expensive as well. We're going to get those more $80 to $90 games that we got from Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. We're going to get for the other games now as well. So it gets a bit more pricier. And so whether they go further, but I'm kind of buoyed by I think Nintendo's been cognizant of that, and maybe that's why they've gotten rid of the gold coins and some of these reward programs. They've gotten rid of the game vouchers. Maybe that's their way of taking a little bit back from us without us really noticing, and then they can sort of make sure they don't have to charge more than they could with the game prices. Maybe that's one way they do it.
Yeah, well, I wonder. I'll just be fascinated. I know you would be too. To look at their financials, like really break it down. How much money did they lose from gold coins and vouchers, and how many people signed up to use vouchers, and like how many people actually redeemed the gold coins? Like for example, for me, I would have spent thousands on the Nintendo eShop over the last 8 years. Thousands.
Oh yeah.
I got like pretty much every
Same.
first party game, all my indies for years. Any third party game that was acceptable on Switch, I got it there. And I might have gotten like, let's be generous, $500 back. Is that big a deal for like? I'm going to put myself in like one of the in the top 10% of their customers easily.
Surely.
Probably you as well, and other people listening to this are probably there as well. Is it that big a deal just for that? Just that loyalty? I don't really think so personally, but
yeah, I mean, I think we benefited the most, didn't we? Because we were going to buy it anyway, and so we got the extra benefit of that 5% extra coin value. Whether we bought more because of it, potentially. But,
I think so, because like honestly, when say like me on Switch or Steam Deck or anything, PlayStation, whatever, I'm like, this game's on everything, and I've got coins to redeem, or I get money back, like even a little bit. Like it just sort of encourages you to use the eShop instead. Whereas like if you buy it on PlayStation, like look, I've got achievements, I've got my friends here, like whatever it is. There's always these little things that are always drawing you to a particular platform. But now that Switch doesn't have the gold coins, so well, what do you get on Switch that you don't get on these other ones? And it's kind of right now, as it stands, a couple of days before Switch 2 gets officially revealed, there's nothing, unless like, don't know, there's like nothing, like, there's no achievements, there's, it's probably going to perform worse, and it's all of that. So it's kind of like, I hope they got a good amount of stuff up their sleeves, which I dare say they do for a brand new platform. But yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Because we haven't actually talked about it, like the gold coins have been sort of focused on other things that have come up over the last couple of weeks. But yeah, it's kind of a frustrating thing for me because it was something that made them pretty unique because no one else is doing it. No one else is like given money back that you can put directly into anything else. PlayStation have like a setup where it's like you earn PlayStation stars and then you can use those points to redeem particular prizes, which include games and vouchers and things like that. But it's only like certain things. And, some of them are pretty pricey as well. So, but on Nintendo, you could theoretically just save them up for a fair while and completely put it just outright buy a first party game with it. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah. It was just a nice extra little bonus, and then I'd forget about them half the time, and then I go to the checkout because I was going to buy this game anyway because it might have been on sale or it was a Nintendo first party, and oh yeah, I can use coins, and it was just an extra little thing, extra cool thing that made me feel a bit more warm and fuzzy when I went to the checkout. Oh yeah, it's a little bit cheaper than I was expecting. So, yeah, you make some great points, and then whether they lose overall from sales from removing it, or whether they think they will save money from doing it. They'd have some modelling, I'm sure, to show whether the elasticity of it all, but from removing it and what they think that will mean going forward. They might be reintroducing, or doing a new program. We don't know. So
yeah,
might
I hope
use
so.
Vouchers again, just at a different price. Not sure. So yeah, that might be something they announce in the direct in a couple of days.
Yeah, I'll be having my eyes peeled for that type of thing because it was just a nice thing that no other platform does, and I think it's important for any of these stores to give you a reason to shop there, and
set them apart a little.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, so you think that it might be them penny pinching? I'm sort of more along the lines of just look, we've got everyone. Switch was a massive success. Fuck them, we got them. They can. There's no bonuses anymore.
I agree. I think it's them doing that.
Oh, it is.
They know they can get away with it. But also, I think the reason being, because of the current climate with game prices, and I don't think they want prices of their games to be too high. And so, if they only increase it $10 and cut away the gold coin program, that might be their way to justify, we don't need to increase it $15 per game now.
Mm. Yeah. No, that's fair enough. Yeah. That's another thing too, is just the increase, the price of games just across the board for Nintendo Switch 2. I think it's probably going to be something we're going to look back on in a couple of years and be like, oh, remember Switch with games for $80, just first party games. It's I wish it was kind of that because, and it's been great because $80 is $80, but it's definitely not what you're paying on for a first party PlayStation game or something, because they get up to $125, which is a lot of money. You got to make sure that game's a fucking banger to be spending that type of cash.
I can't remember the last time I spent that much money on a new game. I don't know if I've ever spent that much money on a brand new non-special edition game.
No, I haven't either, because that is why I could not go digital on PlayStation 5.
No, because absolute joke.
Yeah, there's no way.
Absolute hamstrung in what you can pay for prices.
Yeah, because if you got
better.
Yeah, if you got a digital only PS5, it's oh man, I can't wait for, I don't know, at the time, Returnal. That looks like a fun game. Can't wait to shoot things in that one. It's $125. It's I've got the digital version. Can I go anywhere else and buy it? No, there's no codes. There's nothing. You're stuck.
I bought some website in Australia got a copy, and I bought their copy off eBay, and I got it for $60 or something, I think. But yeah, I was I'm not paying $100. That's for sure.
Yeah, no. I mean, Big W and JB Hi-Fi are usually pretty good here. They'd knock off at least $10, if not 20.
For sure.
So that's where it's good there. So maybe we'll be, I think I do plan to go physical with Switch 2, at least first party stuff. But if they put up the prices, I might be forced to anyway. So,
I mean, yeah.
Just to get a bargain.
For sure.
Especially if they're not going to do the vouchers again, because the vouchers were a really good sort of cost saving scheme for me. Because you save decent amount of money each one. The only thing is you got to buy a second game up front because you got to buy two at once. But apart from that, that was good.
Yeah, I've still got one. I've still got one voucher to use. So,
Nintendo
keep sending me free games, so I haven't had a chance to use it.
Yeah, you're lucky enough where it's just sorry. I'll save it for when I'm
bit of a flex.
A bit of a flex. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll have to use it. But then I looked the other day what to use, and I have everything I want already. So that's all right. I'll find something. I'm not complaining about this. It's a very nice thing. So
yeah, I mean, you can go back and find an older game or something. I was thinking remember when I was looking at the catalog, there's a few games I didn't pick up. I haven't picked up like Pikmin 3 Deluxe. I didn't pick up Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. Didn't pick that one up. And
Yep.
After really getting into the Warriors games, I'm like, oh, I actually wouldn't mind giving that one a bit more of a go, because on Wii U, I was like, no, I don't want to play this. But the idea of doing it now after playing Age of Calamity and Three Hopes as well, I'm like, man, I could go for this one. This is just like a fan fest for Zelda, just smashing shit. So I'm kind of all about it now. So that would be one I would go back and visit. But yeah,
nice.
So what point was I on again? We're talking about the stars. I was getting somewhere, but I got sidetracked.
Australian prices.
Australian prices, yeah. So what do you think we'll be paying? So the $80 at the moment. Do you think we'll be going to 90 or 100?
So what, we're 80 now. I think it's the 90. I think it's $10 for us.
Yeah, so look, it wouldn't be too bad, especially if like we see an improvement with Switch 2, like we're getting like pretty graphical intensive games, like for the most part, not every game, but I think where it hurts the most is, say, Mario Odyssey, like $80. We're like, yeah, easy, mate. He's $80. But when it's something smaller, even something like Link's Awakening remaster or something like that, they're like, yeah, $80 for this too, please. I'm like, oh, that's a bit harder, because this is like this is like what I was playing on 3DS, and it's like a $60 game. So it's like a little bit more of this is like $20 more than I'd like to pay for this one. So it kind of like, you win some, you lose some when it comes to like Nintendo's just standard pricing across everything.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, what do you do though?
Yeah.
Yeah. We say $80 is the price now, but for me it's been like under $70 because I've always bought stuff physically, and so it's been like $69 recently when you buy physical. Back in the early days on the Switch, it was like low 60s, which was even better. So they'd even cut it even further.
Oh, really? It was better early on. Okay.
In the first couple of years, I remember getting like Super Mario Odyssey for like $62 or something. Like the price matching and the competing on price was really there, but now it's just 69.
That's interesting. Maybe. What do you think that is? Just don't have to? I
just think they just figured they didn't need to compete, and then just realised that once it's just a battle to the bottom by doing that, and so I think it was always Target or Big W, can't remember. One of them would always do the lowest price, and everyone would just follow a price match, and so I think one of those two decided don't need to do it.
Yeah.
Gain the extra, $5-6 every time someone buys it, so just keep it higher now.
Damn. Oh well, better. Because I remember with the Wii, like the Wii was like, when I was a kid, like games are $100 and they never went down. They might have been on like an introductory sale for $80.
Yeah.
That was when you get the best deal, like at all. Like it never goes down in price. So that was harder back then, and like your dollar was worth more then as well.
Oh, for sure, that's a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah. So like Nintendo games, they got a fair bit cheaper, which was good. Even since the Wii U, I think Wii U, they were $100 games, weren't they? I can't remember, to be honest. Roughly about $100?
Maybe.
Were they $100 or they 80 then too?
Can't remember.
I really can't remember, actually. Yeah. No, because it's like just cemented in my mind, like going to get a DS game, $60. 3DS game, $60. Wii game, $100. But honestly, I didn't buy that many Wii U games. Like I got a good stack, but I didn't buy that many. Like I got like 15 Wii U games or something like that. So I didn't go to the shop and scan the plastic that many times. I guess I didn't.
I think about 10 or so. Not huge.
It's a pretty funny way to put it. Like I didn't have that many trips to the shop to buy one, so I can't actually remember the price.
There weren't too many special occasions to go out and get your game for your Wii U.
Yeah, because there were some big moments going out, like going and getting Wind Waker HD, going at Super Smash Brothers.
Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, of course, Mario Kart 8 and Mario
Amiibo
3D
Festival.
World. Yeah, Amiibo Festival. I got that for $10, like when the Wii U was done.
Yeah,
and it's funny. I've got it boxed with the Amiibo, but they never put the disc in it. And it's very, they never put the disc in the case. I'm like, so it's very frustrating. I've just got
What,
this.
did you get it? Did you complain and get them to?
Well, I don't think I noticed until later. Like it's not like I got home and I'm like, oh fuck yes, it is time to play Amiibo Festival on my Wii U. So I think like I checked it like another time just because I was looking at it or something. I'm like, oh, there's no disc in it. Okay. So it was like beyond the point. So there's always a lesson. Always check your games. Yeah. Always check your games, especially if you're not going to go straight home. And
what if someone in your family took it out?
No, I don't think so. I don't think Chantel's like, oh, what's this copy of Amiibo Festival we're doing in this case?
Yeah, true. That's fair.
Before kids, so the kids wouldn't have gone in and like, even they wouldn't. They're good kids. They wouldn't steal my Amiibo Festival.
Don't know.
When they're older, I'm like, you kids, you stay away from old daddy's Amiibo Festival.
Yeah,
this is going to be worth money one day.
Correct. That's right.
Not anymore. It doesn't have a fucking disc. Christ. But yeah, we're going to be paying more. But I guess that's sort of the negative out the way. The C button, Josh. We got official renders of that C, a letter C on the button.
C.
Yeah.
We knew it already though from the other leagues. Then Nintendo's like, no, you didn't. It's not there at all. We're going to block it out. Create a bit of hype at least, because now it's back, and we're like, yeah, here we go.
It's so funny, isn't it? You see like news articles from like Vooks and Press Start and everything. Like, oh, the C button's been back. I'm like, oh, is it? Click on that one. Here's the ad revenue for that story. Fuck yeah.
So what is it? You got obviously 2 days before we find out. What's the button?
Look, I've been listening to podcasts as I do, YouTube channels as I do, and like everybody's like, oh, what do you reckon it is? And I think I don't have any unique ideas. I think probably the best idea I've heard is just that it's the cursor button for the mouse mode. That like you're playing a game, you're playing the game, you press the button, you go to those controls, and then like I don't know, you click it back and then you go to a different mode. And to me, that makes sense because, like, what do you need a button for? Like, a button on the controller, add a brand new one. It needs to be pretty important, something that can be done on, like, just the snap of the finger, the press of a button, and not have to go into menus and all of that. And I think, like, we're looking at this, like, new social media or Miiverse-like thing on Switch that I think a lot of us probably hope we're getting. You don't really need a button for that necessarily. You got the screenshot button, maybe you can press the screenshot button and from there you can choose to post it or whatever and all that. So I don't really think it would be for something like that. But to change control methods, I think you probably just want to like click the button, do your thing, and maybe like click it again and go back to just holding the Joy-Con. I don't know. Not sure, but I think Nintendo kind of expects you to put it in the grip as well. So maybe it's not that.
And then why wouldn't it be on the other Joy-Con if you're left-handed?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess the idea is that you double click it and it might allow you to use it on both. I don't know. Like obviously there's flaws in like this idea, but it's just the one I heard. I'm like, that kind of makes sense. But yeah, Nintendo's probably got this like brand new feature none of us are expecting, and then it's for that. So don't know. What are you thinking?
Chitter chatter.
Chitter chatter, a chat button.
The chatter button.
Yeah, I've heard the chat button sort of thought as well, and I mean that makes sense too. I just wonder how Nintendo would implement it. Like, do you press it and a little text box pops up and you go tap 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 and you click around and you write a message and you send it to your mates, or maybe it's got a microphone in the Joy-Con which we haven't noticed yet, and you just like do a voice to text message while you're playing Mario Kart. You don't have to like do anything. You hold the C button. You're like, you fucking suck. And you press it again. It sends it off to you, and you're like, but that's kind of antiquated as well. It reminds me of like, there's on the Dreamcast that had voice chat when you could play online, and it was very much just like you're holding the button, and it sends like just a voice memo, and you listen to it. But the other person sends one back. It's like a back and forth. I'm like, in some ways, that's kind of up Nintendo's alley. It's like, remember what Sega was doing in 1999? Let's do that.
Yeah, I don't know. They're just they'll find a weird way to do it, and I don't know. That's the only thing I can really think of that I just don't see why they need it for the cursors, because you just detach them, wouldn't you? Just put the thing on and it would know it's detached and start controlling it. I don't know.
I don't know. It just might be like, say, like Mario Maker 3. You can use the mouse, but you can also use the joystick. So it's like, well, what are we doing? What are we doing here, Drew? Are we moving the mouse? Are we moving the control stick? Well, I'll tell you what we're doing. Press the C button. That's what we're doing. We're using the cursor, champ.
Yeah. Maybe. What was the other thing I heard? You know, you could press the button and it converts to, like, if say you're playing handheld mode, you press the C button and it converts to the TV, and through wireless, not having to dock anymore.
The old casting.
The cast button. Yes.
Yeah.
Which, you know, effectively that's how the Wii U worked, the gamepad.
Yeah.
So
I guess my only sort of it sounds kind of cool, but at the same time, it's like, why? Why would you do that?
Yeah, I would find it incredibly handy because, I don't know, I'm just always moving my dock. Like, whenever I go to friends' houses, like, I'm the Switch guy. I'm the guy with the games. I bring it all. I bring, like, my big box full of the Switch and the cables and everything. If there was a way I could just Bluetooth connect to their TV and press the C button with my Switch 2 and just connect straight away, it'd just be like, oh, man, just, like, so much easier. I don't have to unpack my gaming setup in my room here and back and forth. Just a cool little thing like that. And if it's, you know, casts it that way and is, you know, pretty down-packed and, you know, not delayed or anything like that, then happy days. It'd be pretty good.
Would be pretty cool. The only thing is just like using the generic Bluetooth on a TV, I wouldn't be all that shocked if it didn't work very well, just like the latency and everything.
Yeah.
And the fact that Nintendo, they don't even allow you to use like third-party USB-C docks. So like stuff that I connect my Steam Deck and iPad and everything to the TV with.
Yeah, they don't like it.
Switch is like, you can not do that, mate. You use my dock. So I think the best case scenario for like wireless stuff is that the dock itself has something wireless in it. So you'll still have your Switch dock hooked up to the TV. I think that's, if there was any casting, any wireless stuff from the Switch to your TV, I think it would still be through the dock. Yeah, I would honestly probably prefer that, because the idea of like hooking it up to my TV's Bluetooth, I'm like, this ain't going to work, because I don't know, wouldn't trust it.
Or the local network, whatever, if it's not Bluetooth. But
yeah, true. You could do the network too, but that's like, it's like streaming. If you're at the mercy of what your network's up to at the time, who's downloading what, who's on it, So. Yeah, so there's lots of questions we have.
I'd love for it to be something else, something completely different that we have no
Me
idea
too.
about.
Everyone's idea sucks. Like, our
resume.
Yeah. No, that's right. I want it to be like you press it and confetti blows out the fan. The confetti button. There we go. Nailed it.
Coffee ordering. Just press it and my local coffee store knows my order and brings it along. I don't know.
It might be like the iPhone action button, which they added.
Yep.
I don't have an action button on my iPhone. I'm super lame. I've got one of those real old iPhones, 3 years old. But the action button, you can make it whatever you want. You can make it your camera. You can make it any app. You can make it, I don't know, your notifications turned off. You can make it anything you want. Maybe the Switch is like, look, this is the central button. Can we be whatever you want? I don't know. It's a nothing button if you don't program it. There you go. I don't know.
Yeah. Does the C6 stand for anything?
Camera stick.
No, in the GameCube and then the 64.
Yeah, the camera. The C buttons are the camera. That's what you use to move the camera around on the games.
Actual? Is that
confirmed?
Yeah. Actually, for camera.
Yeah, and that's why it's the C stick, because it's still for the camera.
That makes sense, actually.
Yeah.
Because it is for the,
That's why it's at the C. Everyone's like, oh, C button. Well, that must mean camera button. But it's like, well, there was a C button on the Wii nunchuck, and that certainly wasn't the camera button. That was just a letter that they chucked on that particular little circle button at the top of the nunchuck. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a throwback to the Wii. It's like, oh, I remember I couldn't even tell you what the C button did in games that I played.
Yeah.
So I remember the Z button in Twilight Princess, Z targeting things.
Is
the C
it actually
button.
camera? Like, because they always had A, B, and then obviously C is just the next one, and then they had X, Y, and Z. They always had the start and end of the alphabet. It's like I heard the other day, DS doesn't actually. They've never officially confirmed it stands for dual screen on the Nintendo DS.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
Don't know.
Yeah, I always went with its dual screen, but yeah, maybe somebody like at IGN, somebody who has like can propagate their message pretty well, just said, "Oh yeah, no, that's what it is," and everyone's just like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, definitely, yeah."
Just gone ahead with it. Yep.
Wouldn't that be mind blowing if DS just standard for like?
It was just a code name.
Yeah, like it just stood for nothing. Like,
yep.
Miyamoto or someone's like, yeah, definitely dual screen. That's way better than what we had it stand for. Definitely dual screen. That's what that makes a lot of sense actually.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
If someone can confirm that in the chat, that'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah. Confirm it for us. Confirm everything we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's funny because somebody will be listening to this in a week and they'll know everything from the Switch 2 Direct.
Yeah, that's
like,
right.
well, the C button's actually this. And I encourage everybody just to write, look, just it's like going back in time and filling us in what actually happened. So just for the engagement, go to youtube.com /RodRuby and go to this episode 307 if you're not listening on YouTube. Just write everything. Put the whole transcription of the Direct into a comment and I'll like it.
Yeah, why not? Do it.
Yeah, why not? That's right. So yeah, the C button, Josh. I see a few companies are almost putting up their cases for pre-order too.
Yes.
Skull and Co. Sent out an email today. I don't know why I'm on their emailing list, but I must have signed up for a discount or some shit at one point. Now I'm there forever. Looks like they've got a fair few options for cases. Like they got like a pretty minimal case. They got like one that covers the whole back. And one with like a lid that goes on the front too, so the whole thing's protected when you put it into a bag and things like that. I reckon I'm thinking about picking a few up just to see what I really like, and also just for like, YouTube videos and all that type of thing around the time of launch. Might pick up the Skull and Co one. I really like the D-brand one I've got for my Steam Deck, the Kill Switch. I don't know whether it's called the Kill Switch. Kill Switch because it's trying to kill Switch, or if it's a kill switch. I don't know. But that doesn't matter. I quite like the one for Steam Deck, so I'm looking at getting the one for Switch 2. So yeah, I might pick up a few of them because I think cases definitely improve the feel of these handhelds, give them a bit more grip, a bit more stuff to hang on to, especially with the Switch 2 because, it doesn't have any of those bumps or handles on it.
Be a bigger boy as well.
That's right, yeah. Have that big 8-inch screen, so that'd be nice. Are you much of a case man? Would you like to get a case for Switch 2, make it a bit more comfortable and all of that, or you just want to raw dog it in your hand?
Probably just raw dog it in my hand. I don't play enough handheld to do it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And then I just bought one of those carry cases day one, the $30 ones that came official Nintendo branding. I'll just get the same thing and leave it at that. Yep.
Yeah, fair enough. Look,
my Switch 2 is going to be docked 90% of the time.
Mine is going to be... Don't know where it's going to be. It's up to the mood, Josh. I'm like a chameleon. Do I want to play it in a handheld, or do I want to play it docked, or do I want to do tabletop mode like an animal?
Chameleon would be a great name for the C button.
Chameleon button. It just changes the color of it. That'd be so useful.
Color
I'm
button.
like, I want a red one. Click it.
Yep. Communism.
The communism button. Brilliant. You just press, I'm a communist now. Then someone comes and takes your Switch 2 away from you. Oh.
Seize the means of production together.
Yep. Oh, well, can't have this anymore.
Everyone else off to the gulag. Sorry, I'm just thinking of the C words now.
Yeah. Well, I think the communist would that's probably the best one.
We'll go with that. That's what it counts.
Yeah, that's definitely what
that's
it is.
That's what it stands for.
Yeah. What are we thinking for, like, I guess, software things? Like, we've got I've talked about my hopes for a long time. I would love to see something like Street Pass, whether it's something that just encourages you to take the Switch with you and get extra goodies and things from your games and be more community focused, especially at conventions and stuff like that. Because people are still holding on to their 3DSs because of that aspect, and that's something that Switch doesn't offer. So I'd love to see something like that come back for Switch too. Achievements are a big thing that I want. They're just like an extra meta game to play and go for in your games, and having that with Nintendo games would be especially special because their games in particular encourage you to 100% them as it is. So just like being able to get all the moons in Mario Odyssey, having the achievement system or the reward system alongside that, and well, that would be so much fun and stuff like that. Because I could see myself playing and buying more on Switch because of that. And it's not because I care about achievements in every game, but if there's a story game that's 4 hours long, and then you've just got to go and get the cleanup and do some trophies or achievements afterwards just to get it all wrapped up for the platinum or the 100% or whatever, I'll probably get that on Switch too if there's achievements. But if not, I'll probably go to PlayStation. That's just the honesty of it. So I'd love to see that on Switch too, because I would like to be there if possible.
Yeah, I think now's the time to build on, obviously what the Switch did, because the Switch was honestly just all about the games, basic interface, sped things up mostly. Not the eShop or anything like that, but yeah, it was a very toned down, less social thing. And I just think now that, yeah, I agree with you. Some people have Switches, and I can add them as friends online. I can, I get the notification when someone's on a certain game. That's really cool. I can't interact with them really anything else beyond that. I don't want to download a separate app to talk to them, and offer to invite them to a game. So it is, at that stage where, they talk about this community created by Switch. They could really sort of, clamp down on it this generation further and bring that social connectivity of it all. Doesn't have to be a Miiverse or anything like that. Just profiles and just ways for people to sort of talk and communicate and compare, achievements, stamps, stickers, whatever they call it. Things like that would be really great to see. And I think just build on what, the DS to the 3DS was and all the cool things that the DS and even the Wii U did. I think that is a side I miss in this Nintendo hub of gaming that we have at the moment.
Even making a little MySpace page or something where it's just oh, look, these are my favorite games and this is my profile and this is the song from my favorite game playing in the background while you're on my profile.
Yeah.
Even that would be pretty cool compared to what we get, because it's just spying on people. It's just all right, I'll add you, and then it's just oh, what are you playing? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I've been
playing
this 50 hours.
Yeah, games they've played, and that's literally, or the last 10 or so, and that's literally it.
Yeah. I also miss the activity log from the 3DS, which is you've really in-depth stats about all your games, what you've played the most. I really actually miss that, because on Switch, you go to your profile. It's you've played this about 5 hours, maybe a bit more. So be a bit more specific, please. We know you have the stats, because at the end of each year, you give us a very detailed list of our stats. You're very aware of what we're doing on your platform.
You have
Can
it.
You please
have it all. Just give it to us.
Yeah, can you please just let me know? Just because it's interesting. I think I don't know why I find it so interesting. I visited that app so many times on my 3DS. How much did I play this? Oh, 20 hours. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's just kind of fascinating, because it's it's personal to you as well. So just more of that stuff, stuff they already did on their previous platforms. Do it here. It's a very simple thing, but I can't really say if any other platform really did it that well either. It's not like on your Xbox 360 or anything back then. The consoles were doing it then either. So it's kind of something that they sort of nailed then, but haven't, they sort of forgot about on Switch. So a lot of stuff that I'd like to see come forward from the 3DS especially, but even the Wii U, I think like we talked about, it's a bit more interconnectivity with your friends, being able to actually, talk to one another and just maybe show off stuff like what we've been playing and achievements and things like that. Because
Yeah.
I just love seeing what people have been playing. It's kind of like when you listen to a podcast or a YouTube channel where someone's like, "These are the games I picked up." Oh, cool. Like it's just fun to look at what other people are doing. So it's, especially close friends or people that it's just like, oh, you picked up I don't know, Spyro Trilogy. That's pretty cool. Nice. Like I don't know. It's just I always love just going on and see what other people are playing. It's a lot of fun. So just allow me to spy on my friends a little bit better, and I'll be happier.
Yeah, yeah. That's all we need. Nothing major. Nothing that really slows the system down. Just a bit more like what the other systems do. That's all we really want.
It's give me what I've got on my PlayStation 5, but make it Nintendo and in my pocket. It's kind of what a lot of us want.
Correct. Yep.
But yeah. What about like the main menu in the operating system? Like if you see like a main screen just with like the games laid out and it looks very similar to the Switch, will you be disappointed or will you be like, oh look, it works?
I'm pretty fine with that. I'm not too fussed. I think it works pretty well right now at the moment. If they're really going to add anything else, it'd be for a brand new feature or insight they have. I think it works fine at the moment. That way anyway.
Yeah. I feel a bit the same. I would love to see themes. Everyone's really just ravenous for themes, and I really liked themes. I think 3DS once again did themes really well.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see a bit more theme action.
I don't want it to be the same weight though. I would love it to.
No.
If it's got the option, sure. But if I'm gonna have to wait 30 seconds every time it's turned on my 3DS, then don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's right. Especially on the older 3DSs, it slowed it down quite a bit, didn't it?
Correct. Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's worth it because when you get a picture of Link on your top screen,
for 2 seconds as I press play game.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. Because it's a similar thing that a lot of people are going through on PlayStation 5. People are like, oh, the PS4 themes were so good. And, obviously PS5 doesn't have themes because when you hover over a game, it just takes up the whole screen, the music and everything. There really isn't that much room for themes, really, unless you want to break that. And personally, when it comes like the PS5, I don't miss themes at all because of that reason. Like, if I'm playing Spider-Man, I turn on my PlayStation and that's the first tile. It'll be like Spider-Man. It'll show like how many friends are playing that game. The music's playing. So I kind of like that. And it's kind of like each game page is its own theme, which is kind of cool. So if there are no themes, I would kind of like that on Switch. Like you're playing brand new Mario game on launch. The whole thing's just like Mario, like the title theme's playing and you can like check out all the other options of the game too. So I'd be kind of up for that route as well. So that'd be kind of cool. I think Xbox actually on the Series X. I think I haven't actually turned my Xbox on in the last couple of weeks since they've done this update. But instead of like clicking on the game, it takes you straight into the game. I think if you press the A button now, it takes you into a screen where it shows like your friends are playing this. This is your achievements and all of this. So I think they've got the best of both worlds where you can set a theme, but then you go into a particular game and it shows you like everything's themed around the game. So they could do something like that too. Yeah. I don't know. It's just but keep in mind what we see at the Direct will be what we have for the next 8 years. There'll be no updates. There'll be no like, hey, look, we've added this new feature.
Yeah. Not like just with the Xbox, you change it every couple of years. It's
that's right.
Yeah, one and the same.
Yeah, it's so funny seeing the complete yin and yang. Xbox is like, look, we've completely overhauled it, and it's like, man, you did this like a year ago or so. Just stick to one, please. But Nintendo's like, we haven't touched it. We've added a Nintendo Switch Online icon to the bottom, and that's it. That's it.
It's real, and then we did folders, guys, and we hope you like it.
Oh, that's right. They're half-assed folders where you've got to go into like the all games option to define them.
Yep, that's right.
See, that should be a little icon at the bottom next to Nintendo Switch Online. There should be a little folders icon. You go to that and it brings you up to your folders. So look, I said I've got no ideas for the C button, but I've got ideas for where you can access your folders. So I'm still up for a job at Nintendo if anybody's listening. I mean, you can have that one for free. That's on the resume. That's for free. I've got plenty more ideas, including a Mario game where you play as Yoshi, right?
Not riding Yoshi.
No, you play as Yoshi.
Yep.
And you've got to lick up all the fruit and make it the fruit juice at your butt. Right?
Mm.
I mean, that's it. What do you think, Josh? Would you play that?
That's not Super Mario 64 DS to some degree.
No, there's no juicing out the butthole in that one. Unfortunately.
Isn't there? No, you're right.
I don't think so. I think I'd remember that one.
No, you probably would, and I probably should have as well if I did. Yeah, I mean, just like send it to them. There's no harm.
No harm.
There's no 3D Mario until maybe Wednesday. We don't know.
I mean, I got no.
That might be short on ideas, Drew.
The only contacts I got for Nintendo is, some nice people from Nintendo Australia. So I'll send it to them.
Yep.
They'll be like, yeah, that's great. I've got no impact on development.
We don't know what to do here. Yeah.
Yeah, but here it is.
We're just distributors.
But yeah, like I said, plenty of ideas in this noggin, Josh. So there's hope for me get. All right. Well, we talked about that. Which way would you like to put this conversation for other things for like Switch 2? That stuff you've been thinking about, stuff you want to sort of put your 2 cents in before it's too late, before it's official, anything like that.
Yeah. The Switch 2 edition. Little disclaimer on the website when they had their direct last week when they talked about virtual game cards. That was really interesting, and I think that kind of confirmed that we're going to get Switch 1 enhanced games as Switch 2 edition games. So I'm excited to see, obviously more excited to see the new stuff, but like also excited to see, okay, they're going to do like a Metroid Prime 4 Beyond Switch 2 edition. What does that mean in terms of like visuals, even content, what's going to be enhanced? Things like that, and that could also mean eventually, I don't think straight away, but like Tears of the Kingdom could get re-released. There might be options to pay a little bit extra to get a Switch 2 edition playing on your new console. And if there's Switch 2 editions, if with the mouse controls, there could be some games like Pikmin 4, any Pikmin game really, but anything that would benefit better using the mouse controls, here you go. Here's a way to use it. So that could be a cool extra little thing to help people come across and upgrade as well.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing we need to sort of work out first is like Switch 2 edition. What does this mean? Because a lot of the Switch library has been been blessed by the Wii U's failure. Yes. Where they could be like, oh, look, here's like 3D World Deluxe. Here's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Where they do deluxe versions, a bit of extra content, a bit of, I don't know, graphical enhancements or whatever they decided to do.
Visuals. Yeah.
Yeah, just, a little bit of changes. So I wonder if like when they do Switch 2 edition, does that mean, I wonder if they mean like it will be a completely new game, but it'll be repackaged. You can go and buy it on a cartridge. And there's no upgrades or anything like that. It'll be a completely new game. Or it will be like a paid upgrade, what you would expect from what PlayStation are doing. They got Days Gone remastered coming out at the end, or next month in April sometime, where you can buy it for $75 or you can pay $10 or $15 and get it updated. So I wonder if they do that route, or the best route, which is personally my preferred route, is what Xbox have done, where it's just like you bought new hardware. The new hardware is more powerful and can play games better, so your games work better. Just that's it.
Yeah,
I kind of like that.
Yep, it's probably the best one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they've by far done the best job of just like forwards compatibility with their games, and but I know Nintendo's going to be nowhere near that generous. Whereas I think there's a lot of good business sense to doing that, where it's just like with a system like Switch 2, there's going to be a lot of people who are just like, look, I'm just playing Animal Crossing and Mario Kart. And some indie games or like Stardew Valley and whatever. It's like, I really don't need to go and get this console. But then you tell them and you go, well, Animal Crossing, don't know. I don't know. Animal Crossing is not really a game that doesn't perform very well, so there's not going to be that good a reason for that game. Maybe it loads quicker because it's a very slow loading game, especially when you're going online or something like that. Maybe they could fix that for Switch too, or something like that. But just giving people a reason, just like a no-brainer reason that the hundreds of dollars that they've spent on games just works better out of the gate. I think that's a pretty compelling reason for Nintendo to do it. But I also know the idea of people spending more money on games they already own is also a very compelling point to Nintendo. So I don't know what they'll do. I've heard a couple of outlets and podcasts talk about the whole thing of them putting out $10 upgrade fees, but if you have the expansion pass for Nintendo Switch Online, they're free. You can download them for free.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a pretty compelling reason to subscribe as well. Like that'll be something that will make me pretty happy as a subscriber, I guess. I'm actually lapsed at the moment. I actually forgot about it. I'm like, I went to go and do something. And I'm like, I can't. I was playing Xenoblade Chronicles X, and I couldn't go on do the online mode. Oh, okay. It just lapsed, and I didn't even know.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
They didn't tell you, or you just weren't looking?
Yeah, well, it didn't tell me, and I wasn't looking, so I didn't know. I've actually got a voucher I've got to use because I got one with my Zelda Switch Lite. Came with a year of subscription.
Yeah.
So I've got to so I've got to go and get the box out and scrub it out and chuck it on the Switch. But what do you think of like the delivery method for what Nintendo's going to do with these Switch 2 edition games?
Yeah, I think I want them to be a bit more deliberate and not just for everything. I worry that they'll just, do it for everything, and, there'll be a bit of an uptake, and, it just takes away from them, doing the main important thing, which is, work on those next big new titles for us. So, I'd be more keen to see it for stuff that I think really would benefit, like kind of like the new player control line from GameCube to Wii, just stuff they think would really benefit from having the Switch 2 visuals.
Yeah, that's a good
either to
comparison.
Showcase the visuals, or I think the mouse control stuff. I think that's what I'd like to see more so, because I don't know if I'm going to ever pick up or want to pick up, Battle League football at a better frame rate.
Oh my god, this fixes it.
That's not going to bring me back in or anything like that. So, or probably just play Super Mario Odyssey as it is and not pay the upgrade, because I think it works fine just by itself. So,
I guess the only thing is if Switch 2 Edition is more than just like a graphical frame rate boost, and it is like, hey, look, I don't think it will happen for Mario Odyssey, especially at launch, purely because we are getting a new Mario game. But let's just use Mario Odyssey as the example.
Yep.
Where like Switch 2 Edition, it comes with a brand new world and an extra 50 moons to collect. Like, will there be added content similar to what Nintendo did with the deluxe editions from Wii U to Switch?
It'd be a different direction for them, because typically they'd just do a deluxe, charge you $70 full, and add just enough new content to make you buy the full game, not just the upgrade. So. I mean, probably more pro-consumer way to do it. Again, I think it's interesting this time because everyone's played that game now. It's not like the Wii U to a Switch where not a lot of people played it. And so,
true, yeah.
I just don't see it really happening that way.
Yeah, and that's a great point as well, because while I was like, oh yeah, 3D World, yeah, I played it. But to everybody, pretty much,
most people hadn't.
It's like, this is a brand new Mario game. Like, you wouldn't even known it was a Wii U game.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah. Because, for example, like Mario Odyssey, there's 25 million or 30 million or I don't know. Can't quite remember. But there's a lot of people who have bought the game and have played it. So for these big games that Nintendo are going to make Nintendo Switch 2 editions of, they've really got to keep that in mind when it comes to price and what they've actually done to the games to actually draw people in to play old stuff. And it also might be a sort of a sign of how much new games they have in the works just to come out in the first year, because they might be relying on maybe older games as well, which might be bit of a sign too. Like if they really go in with Switch 2 editions of older games, is that because they don't have new stuff? Or like I can't see both. I can't see like, oh, we've got all these old games, go and play our old games. And also they want to focus on the new stuff as well. So
Yeah. Yeah, because the Wii U's pretty all run dry now, unless you want to do Yoshi's Woolly World or but then the quality really drops after that. I think Xenoblade Chronicles X was the real last one. And so I don't know what do they lean into, like they've done a lot of GameCube already, and so I think there's still a couple more GameCube titles they could do, but they've been really, I think, deliberately trying to use that library, resell it with these remasters before bringing it to NSO. So yeah, maybe you'll see a bit more of the 3DS and the Wii with some later titles that maybe didn't see enough light of day. But yeah, the Wii U's done. That well's completely dried up.
yeah, no, they suck that thing dry. It's just like,
Oh yeah,
you're gonna get thirsty drinking from that well.
yeah, two generations in one.
Yeah, I think that's going to be something I'm going to be fascinated with at this Switch 2 Direct or on the Nintendo Today app. It seems like one of those things potentially that might be
Maybe.
the days following. There's going to be like a lot of these questions that we have that won't be at the Direct because it's such like nitty gritty. It's like they're not going to show it then. They're going to show like the games and like this is the hardware and it does this, but we're not going to get the nitty gritty stuff.
Yeah, we'll find it all out
It
later.
reminds me of what Nintendo did with the Wii U at E3. So they did a Wii U Direct that was like all the nitty gritty. They revealed like the new look for the gamepad, the Pro controller, all of like the stuff that wasn't all that interesting. But Nintendo fans were like, you know, we want the updates, we want the nitty gritty, we want to know how this works, all of that. And then at E3, they just said, look, this is the games, and this is how it works. And so I feel like we're going to get that style Direct or that type of information afterwards.
I think that makes sense. I think, do the main headline stuff and then they'll fill it up with, the other stuff. Yeah.
But I think
on the websites.
I think we probably will get like a Switch 2 edition segment that's like, hey, look, for let's just say theoretically, $10, you can have updates to Animal Crossing, Smash Brothers, like just the biggest top 10 selling games. Like you got updates to these, they do this, $10 or Nintendo Switch Online. I think that'll be like pretty snappy, to the point thing. I think they'll probably showcase that.
Yeah. I mean, they're doing something. If it's Switch 2 edition games, it's something. So, I think it's a bit more concentrated and control mode wise, and some big ones they can sell a bit more with some faster frames and visual upgrades. But we'll see.
We will see. But I guess the more fun conversation to have, Josh, is just like, all right, you got your Switch 2. You spent all your hard-earned money. You sit it into the dock. It pops up onto the TV. You pick up your beautiful new Pro controller that feels like the back of a sweaty dolphin. It's just beautiful, smooth. The sticks glide as you rotate them in a 360 direction. It's like, this is everything I could have dreamed of. And you look at your Switch library like, let's go back to one of these bad boys just for old time's sake. What do you want for your old Switch games in a Nintendo Switch 2 edition? Like, do you want something, tell me what game you want and what enhancements you want for it. Because there's some real obvious ones, and then there's some ones that aren't so obvious. I'd love to hear from you first, Josh. What do you think?
So what Switch games I want to have a Switch 2 edition?
Yeah, and what that like a special sauce would be.
Yeah, like I know this is kind of pseudo around it, but it is Metroid Prime 4 because I really want to see Retro Studios have a go with Switch 2's new hardware and see what they can do to it. I've got a bit more hope because they didn't announce the date in the Direct last week that it's going to appear at this Switch 2 Direct. Have a Switch 2 edition.
It will have to be there
with a release date.
Yeah.
So that's my number one. I just want to see it, the enhanced visuals, 60 frames. They might be able to do a multiplayer mode or something just to sort of really might have some better online connection that they offer it through the Switch 2 edition. They might have some extra thing
Yeah.
that entices you to upgrade.
I sort of see, like in my head when I think about like enhancements and things, I sort of see Metroid Prime 4 not as like an addition, but just as like a dual SKU release. Like
Yeah.
there isn't. I feel like it's just older games like that they'll do it for, but I could be wrong. Like they're obviously marketing at least Metroid Prime 4 as a Switch 1 game right now. So
It's at least a Switch 1 game, so
yeah,
I really think the big ones that would benefit are anything Pikmin with mouse controls, RTS doing it like that, and then doing Super Mario Maker 2
oh yes,
with the
yes,
levels designs. I just think
that's a brilliant one.
because
Yeah,
we had so much versatility with the touch controls for the first game on the Wii U, and then we kind of lost it with the Switch one. And so I think having that back for doing Super Mario Maker 2 edition would benefit from that. But then, I don't know, is it better for them to make a third entry in that series? I don't know. So
yeah, that's going to be
the
my
whole thing
question.
they've got to think.
Yeah, because like Mario Maker 2, it didn't sell like crazy.
It was alright, but not. I reckon they would have expected more.
Yeah, it wasn't like nuts. It was under 10 million. Like I know that's for like phenomenal sales for like most publishers, but comparing it to like I guess other Mario games that they could even be making,
3 got over 15 million, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah. So
even Advance Wars, I don't know, with the grid base and a Fire Emblem game, I don't know. Is it be quicker with the mouse controls? How that works?
Dude, you just want to be a PC gamer, don't you?
I'm just thinking. Yeah.
You're like, I just want to use my mouse. I want to click everything.
Just click it all. I want to know how this works. Are they really expecting us to have it docked at a desk all the time? Are they going to come up with a, here's a portable mouse pad that you can rest on your legs or something as you play your Switch, and it's this pad's, you get your Joy mouse con off and you can rest it on that? Or does it work well enough to just go on your legs without anything or any sort of surface that it will read and know what to do? I really want them to explain how they expect us to get the best experience out of it.
They kind of have to sell like a little lap tray thing, because like
in a way,
because like if I'm sat here, I'm at my computer desk at the moment. I've got my mouse here, but like if I'm on my couch and like the game's like, oh look, move the mouse to move Samus's arm cannon. I'm like, all right. So I got the arm of the couch, which is soft, and it just doesn't work. So, and Nintendo, they're not afraid of selling you accessories. Like with Nintendo Switch Sports, they're like, hey, look, we're selling a leg strap that works with this one sport in this game, and it's for a very specific mode. So it's like, I don't think they'll be like, all right, this is the main feature of the Switch 2, but it's a little bit different. I don't think they'll be too shy of selling you a little lap tray or, something to make it work on the couch.
Yeah.
Maybe just take the Switch itself and just do it on the screen. That can be a little tray. Just scratch up the screen. Maybe you have to buy a second one as the little lap tray.
You flip it around and then buy a mirror and get it to reflect back to you.
Yeah, and you're just like watching it through your legs.
Yeah.
Mirrors on the ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this is nuts. This is revolutionary.
Because that's my one worry with the mouse stuff is like, is it like a cool idea that's just not going to get executed well, like with some Nintendo
Yes, it is, Josh.
gimmicks, I'm going to call them. So I'm sure there'll be a niche of a bunch of people who love it and like will have their Switch docked to their computer desk, where they work or study as well, and it works perfectly there. But in a lounge room setting, I don't know how they're going to sell it.
Yeah, like if I wanted to play a mouse and keyboard or like a mouse type of interface, I would probably just play on my computer. That's kind of how I feel. But I do love the idea of having like the mouse in the right hand and then the Joy-Con in the left hand, so you still have access to like your joystick and everything. Because the main thing about PC gaming, where it's like, all right, I'm going to play Call of Duty, I can have that really sort of precise mouse movement and everything, but then you've got to move around with four buttons to do a grenade or a stab or something. You got to go over to the F key. It's like well, I've got really good precision in my mouse, but the movement feels like shit. So I kind of like the idea of using that Joy-Con. It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. What games do you want?
Well, I'll get
Splatoon?
get the boring ones out the way first. A lot of it is just like stuff that I played on Switch was like, whew, man, this bad boy needs a bit more RAM, bit more horsepower in it. Like Age of Calamity, Horror Warriors, that needed a bit more oomph in it. That frame rate was like.
Would you pay again for it?
For Horror Warriors, no, I played through it. I enjoyed it. You know,
Yeah.
like I put up with it, and now it's done. But for like Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, seeing that like up res and everything, that would be stunning. That'd be stunning. So I'll happily go back to it, especially, and I assume I'll be able to play on like my same save file and all of that. That's a big one for that.
Yes.
But apart from that, it's games that are going to get sequels which make me think that they won't get switched to editions. Like Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, I'd love to see something done to that game, whether it is like more content or different like better technically. I don't know. That game didn't really suffer that much, so I don't really know what they'll do to that. But some of my favorite games that I would like to go back to, the Evergreen games, and there'll also be like a few that I never got around to. Like I never got around to Pikmin 4, so if I was like, oh look, it's got mouse controls now, I'm like, oh well, sweet, I'll play that now because I'll utilize some of the new Switch 2 goodness and play some of these older games. Because all of us have a backlog that we haven't got around to, and a lot of games we haven't bought yet.
Yep. I even think Emio as a visual novel, just having a mouse there to more quickly click things.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Would benefit, and if you've upgraded it in a way to fix some other little things in a new edition.
If they come out with like, hey, look, we've got a Switch 2 edition of Emio, I'll be flabbergasted. I'll be shocked.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, obviously. No.
But maybe the next Famicom Detective game in the series, you'll get that mouse cursor.
If they do another one, it'd be so great. I'd be so happy.
Yeah. They'll do another one.
Yep. And then, Drew, they're going to do Kid Icarus Uprising as a brand new remake.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, that with the mouse cursor. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And better visuals, everything. That's just going to be the best way to play it.
You see I've got this pop filter on this microphone? I'll swallow that in a gasp.
Oh, you
if I fucking get Kid Icarus Uprising
Correct.
during this direct. Every direct, I'm sort of just like, I'm waiting for it because I know I'm gonna flip out. And
it will happen again. There has been every other series, every other IP Nintendo has done has pretty much made an appearance on the Switch, or it will on the Switch too. Like it will happen.
Well, you tell that to the Star Fox fans, and the Star Fox fans are like, oh, I want my fairy little boys back in their ships. I want to shoot things.
We got Starlink. We got something.
I guess.
We're getting
Fox
new Rhythm Heaven
Ubisoft,
next year. We're getting new Tomodachi Life.
That's the thing. We're getting Tomodachi Life before I'm getting my Kid Icarus. Like you gotta fucking sit down. Like those Tomodachi fans, like you gotta fucking sit down and wait your turn.
Like
all right?
I can't think of any outside the Star Fox. I can't think of any other. Like F-Zero gets talked about so much, but
F-Zero, Punch-Out,
F-Zero 99. Yeah, we haven't had a Punch-Out, but this is getting to small stuff now. This is like pretty.
Yeah, we're in the B leagues here, boys.
Yeah, correct. I'd even go C's. I'd even go down to C.
I don't know. The last Punch-Out was pretty sick.
No Chibi Robo.
Chibi Robo, yeah, fucking all right. We're going there, are we?
New Dr. Mario, that'd be fun.
Dr. Mario. We're going to Mario's puzzle spin-offs now. That's where we are.
Yeah.
I mean, Dr. Mario, like the music from Dr. Mario was just fucking A tier.
It's so good. Obviously Earthbound, Mother. Anyway.
I mean, if we get Mother 3 before I get Kid Icarus, like a sequel or a remake, I'll be a little. I'll be pretty happy, to be honest. I'll take it.
Yeah, take it.
I don't have any games where I like. I know you seem like you're like pretty. I guess optimistic about like the mouse controls. I can't say I've got a game where I'm like, oh man, if I could just use the mouse controls for this. Existing games.
I'm probably overselling how optimistic I am. I think it's something I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised by. But I do have a bit of a like, I just don't know if I really need it.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, more. If I want to switch to edition of something, it's not for the mouse controls. It's more so for updated visuals, and I want it for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. That's really about it. Because I haven't played it yet, and I'd rather get a more enhanced version if I can.
I feel like it's just going to be something similar to the IR camera in the Joy-Con at the moment. Like, we use it for 1-2 switch, where it's like, oh, look, how many fingers am I holding up? 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like in WarioWare, where you take bites out the Joy-Con.
Yeah.
Like, well, that was it.
Yeah, for WarioWare mini games, and Mario Party upcoming games, how they use it for that might be the extent of it.
But yeah, like when it comes to like first-person shooters, so we're going to be getting more. We know we're going to be getting Call of Duty on Switch too. Whether that's this year straight up or it will be next year, I don't know. But Microsoft has literally put the contract out to Nintendo. It's a 10-year agreement to have Call of Duty on Nintendo platforms. So we know we're at least getting the big bad boy Call of Duty.
Yes.
Is that going to be a way you're going to be wanting to play that game? It's just like at a desk with your Joy-Con on the side, playing cross-play with PC players, like with your Joy-Con. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Because that's kind of the best. Yeah. There's going to be really great use cases by Nintendo, where it is like Mario Party mini games. There's going to be a WarioWare game. There'll be like a 1-2 switch like game at launch, which showcases the hardware. And there'll be a couple of examples. Like there'll be Pikmin, and there'll be like some like Metroid. But when it comes to third party stuff, it will be like first person games that will probably have it as a control option. Which is already way more than the IR camera. But I think it will be a thing that most people are just like, look, I'm not playing Call of Duty with this way. But I might be wrong. It might be sick. You might get like a little attachment that makes it like a full size mouse, and you might be amazing. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And like even the file sizes, that might deter me. Just how big they are and how limited the Switch 2's memory is going to be compared to maybe the PS5's. I don't know. So I just don't. It's going to have to sell me a bit for me to do it.
But yeah, I'm just those games that performed poorly. I just want them to fix it on a new piece of hardware, and I'll be happy as Larry. And probably a few dollars shorter because I have to pay for it. But
yep,
yeah. So yeah, we've got a lot to be excited about, Josh. This doesn't happen. This doesn't happen very often anymore. It's been 8 years since the Switch first came out, and I can't point to many times in my life I was that excited for a thing. Like I was so excited for Switch. I watched every single unboxing video and all of that, and I'm going to probably do the same for Switch 2. Probably not as excited because it's not like a brand new concept, but it's like really exciting, and hopefully they got the games to really push that as well to get us excited. Like I cannot wait for the next sort of refresh slate of Nintendo games. Like, all right, brand new console. That means new Mario, new Zelda, new Mario Kart, all of that. Cannot wait. And like we know we're getting Mario Kart as well. So like that's the only game we've actually seen running. So man, I cannot wait to see what they're doing with Mario Kart. I hope they really do some different stuff with it. Like not just a time trial mode, a free play, and Grand Prix. Hopefully, like there's way more in it than that. That's what I'm sort of hoping to. Because otherwise, like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is it does all that. So it's kind of they got to move
Mario
people
Kart's
on too.
Blow us away. They've been sitting on the same thing for 10 years. There is so much they can do to it, and they're really gonna like live service this so much and make it something you want to come back to every week. This game's going to be like. Like on par with GTA 6 in terms of, well, maybe not that much, but like up there. I really think they're going to take it to the next level with the new Mario Kart. They've had so long to do it.
What would you like to see? So obviously, like you come back to Mario Kart a lot because it's fun, and then it's so much fun to play with your friends and all of that. But as far as like the actual content itself goes, what would you want it to do to draw you back in? Like, would there be like tournaments, or would it be like to earn certain parts and certain carts, or get costumes for characters? Because that's the thing that scares me. Nintendo's pretty good at this usually, but imagine if it became like Fortnite, where it's like, oh, buy the battle pass and do all this stuff. That's where it's like, oh no, I don't want that. I want it to have plenty of stuff going on and all of that, but I don't want it to go crazy with all the cosmetics and all the money you can spend in it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think they'll find a happier medium ground with it all, because I think the cosmetic stuff's definitely, an appealing side to it. And if it stays as cosmetics and not, stat changing, that might be even better again. I just think, what they've done with Splatoon and have these, more, frequent tournament ideas, bringing people together, making it easier to join and play online. It's not just, literally the online is just, you go on there, you race, you get points, and it doesn't mean anything. What if the points meant something? The rankings and qualifications for things, actual prizes, or there's a leveling system and that feeds through to a single player mode, or other unlockables you get. There's so much they can do to really sort of get the loop in for you to want to keep coming back. And with 24 players, who's to say? I've heard theories that these courses might be a bit like tour, and really sort of like there's 3 different segments instead of 3 laps. It sort of varies off. You could get split off at stages. Some people go left, some people have to go right. And you get to choose your way if you're at the front of the pack, or things like that, or you get forced to go at the front a certain way because you're at the front, and the other way is easier if you're at the back. So does that open it up to creative like tracks you could create and share? I think of like Mod Nation, because I found that a really fun, addictive experience for online racing on PlayStation. If they can do anything like that, bring it to Mario Kart, I think that just makes it a better game.
Yeah, you can imagine them really dividing it up a bit. So, with that many players, you sort of have to divide them up maybe a little bit, because if it's just like a big thick track the whole way with heaps of people banging it against each other and item galore, so you might have to sort of split them up a bit. It's a bit like what's that Yoshi's Valley level from Mario Kart 64?
Yeah,
where it's it splits you off a little bit. That could be interesting, but instead of just having like one obvious way, which is the quickest way, because there's obviously like a right way and a wrong way when it comes to that track.
Yeah,
you could do it like that. It's kind of like the new Sonic racing game. It's really cool because there's you go through a ring and it takes you to like a different dimension that takes you to a completely different course. But I think the mechanic is that the person at the front can choose what dimension you go to. Like you go between 2 rings. So if you go in, you basically choose what dimension like everybody else follows you into. I'm like, that's really cool.
Exactly like that. Yep.
Yeah. That Sonic game that's coming out this year looks really good as well. It's kind of a shame because I don't think it will get its
it's not going to do well if it launches this year.
It won't get its flowers like it would, because any other year, like we're all hungry for a new like really high quality kart racer, but the same year is a bit like an open world car game coming out the same year as Grand Theft Auto 6. It's like, well, you had the other 12 years to release this bad boy. It's probably ran out of time here.
Maybe.
Yeah, I reckon I'll still pick it up. Hopefully it's a really good version on Switch too. I can have it on there too. That'd be great. But
yeah, I mean, we're going to be like a new Mario Kart in like 3 months. So and then GTA 6 will be like in September or October. So good luck with this year. Yeah,
no, it's a big year, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I've said it a million times, but what I definitely want is just like an open world, open zone, single player mode where you're doing races and earning points and coins and upgrades and all of that type of thing. Like you can imagine like a zone where it's like the Mushroom Kingdom, Princess Peach's castle, all of this other stuff to explore, but you're doing it on a go-kart. There's other races and that going around as well.
Yeah.
And you go to like the desert area as you progress and all that. Like that'll be phenomenal. It'll be amazing. It'll be so much fun because open world car games are one of my favorite genres. Like they are so much fun, and having like that whimsical, fun, just atmosphere Mario offers, it'll be it's a dream game. It's a dream game. If they do that is a dream game.
Yep.
checked off my list this year. If they don't, well, hopefully I'll just have a really good Mario Kart to play.
Well, hopefully they bring Forza Horizons to Switch too, and I'll play that.
Oh, yeah. Forza Horizon would be great on Switch. Switch 2 as well. It would make a lot
of sense with Xbox coming to the party. Would not be
like,
surprised in the slightest.
There's something too. I think we can expect some Xbox games here, like
definitely,
like Gears of War and Halo, even like those caliber of titles. With there's been rumors about a Gears of War collection coming out for at least PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series and PC. So it's like that could be on Switch too, and like the Halo Master Chief collection on Switch too. Like when that pops up at the Direct, that's just going to be an amazing moment just for the industry. Just like, holy shit. Like Xbox has had games go to PlayStation, but you know, that is the one. That's like
that Mario signifies going to PlayStation or Xbox. It's like, well, not as big, but like, you know, that's Xbox's main thing. That's it's pretty amazing.
Because I would 100% buy Master Chief Collection on Switch. Like that would be amazing. Like just to have that multiplayer and everything like on your Switch, that'd be amazing. I'll be over the moon to play that. Like, so you can sort of see where like the first few months of Switch is going. Like if you have like Mario Kart and Mario and like Microsoft bring games to it and Capcom and like all of the publishers actually offer at least one game, and then there's the indie support and all the stuff you didn't play on Switch 1. It's going to be a really, really exciting launch. I'm over the moon. I can't wait. I hope I'm not disappointed. Like, I don't think my expectations are all that high. But there's definitely things that will...
I think they've got to be high, though. I don't know. I just watched the Switch 1 Direct the other week, and they, you know, had a similar, like, nothing really announced, and they just spelled out the whole year ahead. So, you know, in that Direct, we got... I'm going to mention the worst one. 1-2 Switch first announced. We got ARMS. We got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, didn't we? Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Super Mario Odyssey, and then they had the best ever trailer for Breath of the Wild at the end. So 6 really cool announcements outside of the third-party stuff. So there's going to be some big things. Some big things for sure.
You just mentioned that Breath of the Wild trailer. If I'm ever having a bad day, like I need to watch that or the Tears of the Kingdom trailer. Like, holy shit, that is so good. Yeah. Oh, man. I hope we have a moment like that. Obviously, there's no Zelda, like big Enuma-led Zelda game at the launch of the Switch 2 or anything like that. But I don't know, if Mario or another franchise could step in and just like offer that type of hype, I'd more than welcome it. Man.
Yeah, and they will. Yeah, someone will. There'll be some. These companies are jumping at the bit to be a part of this Direct. There'll be some big stuff announced.
Man, third party wise, like what is one game where you're like, I want it on my Switch, like, yeah.
I really wanted to play Forza Horizons, so I think that'd be really great to have on the Switch. One of my top ones.
Yeah. I would.
I love racing games.
I would 100% buy that. The only thing that makes me a little bit nervous about racing games in general on Switch and now Switch 2 is just, but they don't have the analog triggers, so you can't control your acceleration. That's the only thing, because that is very, very important in Forza Horizon. Like if you're just like full on going, and then you get to a corner, you're going to just be like pressing it, letting go, like boom, 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 going around a corner instead of just like letting go of the gas a bit and going around the corner. You're going to be just like...
It's a bit different, isn't it? And
it's going to be like playing crossplay, and like you see like everybody's just like smoothly going around corners. Then you see the Switch 2 players like fucking jolting it like they're on their L plates trying to fucking get their driver's license. But I don't know.
I mean... Yeah, it will have its downfalls for sure, but I just think the portability of it all, and I'm not going to buy a whole separate console just to play something like that. Switch.
It's on PS5. It's on PS5. You got a PS5?
It's coming out. PS5.
It's coming out next month.
They announced it for
It's coming out next month. Yeah.
Maybe do it. Just get on PS5 then.
Honestly, dude, probably get it there. I would say.
Yeah, well, the
Like,
Indiana Jones comes out to PS5 next month as well.
Yeah, they're a week apart. Xbox, they're spoiling you. They want your cash over there, Josh. They're like, we can't get you on Xbox. We're going to get you.
They're not selling enough on their consoles, that's for sure.
Yeah, but I think just if it comes out, like if Forza Horizon come out at launch or around launch on Switch 2, I think I'd pick it up just for the, around the hype. But ideally those controls probably aren't really up to snuff. But just for playing it in handheld mode and
the Pro
exploring
controller
and stuff.
they might have a new Pro controller, Drew.
That's right.
With the triggers.
Yeah, I don't think they would though, because would you see them having it different across both? Like, I would think they would have like the controls pretty unified, apart from just the form factor, where it is like more comfortable to hold. Like the Pro controller at the moment doesn't have like an extra feature or anything like that. It is just like a more traditional, more comfortable controller, where it kept those just digital inputs for the triggers. But
possible, but unlikely.
Yeah. It's interesting because like I actually prefer like just the clicky triggers for the most part. It is just when it comes to like games that utilize the digital input, that's when it's like, oh well, I need it now. That's why I really like my PlayStation Edge controller, because I got it set to the lowest possible button press. But then when I'm playing like car games or whatever uses it, I set it like I can set it myself. So I don't know. We'll find out. That's a question I'll find out. I'll be surprised if it does have
unlikely
digital,
sure.
But yeah, it is a problem. Like for some games, it's just not Nintendo games. I honestly think they just don't think about it, and it's maybe a bit cheaper to do how they're doing. So they just chuck it on. I don't think about it. Like we don't make any like realistic racing games, so who gives a fuck? I think that's I think Miyamoto was quoted for saying that actually. He said he gives us stuff. I wonder if just me thinking that, I wonder if that would actually put the devs off putting Forza Horizon on Switch 2 for that reason. Or they just go, no, look, just press the button.
Find a simple way around it, and that will do.
Yeah. Might be like down on the D-pad and that puts you down a gear or something. I don't know. Could do that.
There's definitely ways around it.
Yeah, just playing manual.
It's true. That's true. Yeah. Other stuff. I'm pretty keen to that Resident Evil 4 remake. I think that'd be cool to have on Switch 2.
Oh, you'll definitely get that.
I think eventually. I don't think straight away, but this Metal Gear Solid Delta. I don't know if Konami would ever do that, but that'd be fun to see on the Switch as well. Just a couple that come to mind. How about you? What do you want?
It's a little bit more tricky for me, because I think for the most part I'll probably stick to PS5 for a lot of those games, unless unless Switch 2 does impress me and I do want it portably, and like I'm going on a trip at the time and I decide to get a game there or something like that. So for the most part I'll probably stick with PS5, but like stuff like Monster Hunter Wilds, I'm pretty confident we'll see that. I'd like that on like a portable system. Stuff that's a little bit more grindy, like a lot of these JRPGs that I've started to mainly get on PS5 is because they just, especially like with anime looking games like the Atelier series, I started getting that on PS5 just because it looks so nice on there, where it's so dumbed down on Switch, where I'm like, why I'm really drawn to that series is just I really like the way it looks. So I might even like if those types of games that aren't like really drawing the power like look just as good as they do on the other platforms that they do on Switch 2, I'm like, great, I'll probably start getting them there again just because of their more grindy gameplay, and I'll pick them up and grind and go through the gameplay loop where it doesn't need to be on my I don't need to be on my TV. So there'll be a lot of stuff like that, stuff that I did originally play on Switch, but then it got to the point where I was like, I'll move away until a hardware upgrade, and that's going to be the point. I'll probably come back and start playing some more of that maybe Japanese-centric stuff. But eventually when like Witcher 4 and all that comes out, we're going to be in a similar situation with the Switch 2 as we were with the Switch 1. Like, it's just going to be the place where it's it might not even be, or it just looks worse or performs worse and all that, and that's fine. It's just like, how much of a concession is it, and is it worth it to put it in your pocket?
Yeah.
So we'll find out.
We will find out. Yep. There could be so much announced. Really big range, potentially.
It's really exciting too, because like we're going to have way more competition this generation as well with Switch 2. The Steam Deck will be getting an upgrade. We're getting handheld PCs everywhere. Xbox this year, they've had a bit of a leak or a rumor that they're partnering very heavily with a PC manufacturer to actually make their own handheld. And it's probably going to be Asus, who did the Asus ROG Ally.
Ooh, okay.
So there's going to be that this year, which that's going to be pretty much a PC. So all the nerds will go and get that. That won't be a Switch 2 competitor really. But I think there was another one that in 2027 they're going to have the Series X successor, and the Series S successor is going to be a handheld, like a more consoleized handheld from Xbox. So yeah, there will be like I guess more of a console competitor to go alongside them. But that's just on the hardware. The software, obviously, Xbox is giving it to everyone else. So there's that aspect as well. But as far as actual hardware goes, you've got plenty of choice. As far as like, if you want to play these games on the go, you're going to have bit of choice, which is nice. I always like a bit of choice. So there's that too. So
Definitely.
yeah, I don't know what I'll be doing, but I know for now I'm very excited about getting a Switch 2 and playing some Nintendo games at very least.
Yes, that's right. Ever reliable. At the very least, when you buy a new console for Nintendo, that's what you'll get.
Just make it my Mario. Look, honestly, if it was just like, if the only game I ever got for my Switch 2 was Mario Kart, I'm like, oh, that's fine. Look, I'm that big a Mario Kart
Probably
fan.
get your money's worth out of it, just that game alone, eh? Yep.
Yeah, I'm like, that's fine. Then there'll obviously be a little bit more than just Mario Kart, so I'll be more than happy to and more than excited to pick one of these up. It's kind of like my my Wii U. My Wii U was honestly a Mario Kart and Smash machine, and I played like a decent amount of other things on it, but they were by far my most played and favorite games on the platform. And I was the same with that. I was more than happy just to pick it up just for one of those games. So any Nintendo platform, it's kind of a similar story, to be honest with you. But I got a little bit more than Mario Kart and Smash out of my Switch. Just a little bit more.
Just a little. Yeah.
Just a little bit more.
I reckon.
So yeah. Now, Josh, it's an exciting week. I dare say a lot of people that get around to listening to this episode probably already happened, and you probably didn't get this far either. But like I said, talk to us from the future. Leave a comment in the YouTube chat or the YouTube comment section on episode 307 over at the youtube.com/iDruby. I'm getting a bit tired. I'm trying to remember the URL. But let us know what the Switch 2 is all about if you're listening to this in the future afterwards. I'd love to know. And then we can record a podcast the following week with all the information we know about it. It's crazy. We're not look, Josh. We're not
usually. Yeah.
We're not going to watch the direct. We're just going to find out from that comment section. We're going to stay.
You can talk for yourself. It's definitely not happening. Gonna be staying up late and probably not sleeping much that night.
No. Yeah. It's 11:30 for us, and it's so.
We'll
I guess it's a. What was that?
I reckon it'll go for an hour as well.
Yeah, like they got a lot to get through. Like even if it was just games, like surely they got enough to fill in an hour, and then they've got like a whole console to show us and a bunch of behind the scenes and how the system works and all this shit we want to know. So I hope I would sit there for 3 hours and just watch every little tidbit of information they got. But yeah, hopefully at least an hour, because I hope they don't drag it out too much longer, like over the week or over the next few months, just over like Nintendo Today. It's just, we've got to check this every day to find out what the icons look like on the Switch home menu. Like, oh, I don't want to be doing that.
No. Give us some good games, Nintendo.
Are we going to record anything that night, or do you want to wait till the day afterwards?
Probably be keen to record that night. Probably be full on the adrenaline at that stage. But we'll play it by ear if you want to do early in the morning next day.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it that night as well. But we'll see how we go. We might be too full of adrenaline to even talk. You know?
I doubt that.
Yeah, no, I doubt it.
I doubt that as well. And then obviously, people listening to this, it's already happened, but tomorrow morning for us is April Fool's Day. So do not fall for any rumors or supposed leaks that you'll see on your feeds tomorrow morning. Because, they'll try and get you. Don't worry. There'll be people with their funny announcements ready to go to trick everyone.
That's a great point, actually. I didn't even think about that. April 1st to me is my dad's birthday. It's my dad's birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday, Drew's dad.
So I've got to make sure I wish him a happy birthday.
Very good.
He's a good man. Good man, my dad. Love him very much. But Josh, brings us to the end of episode 307 of the House of Mario. Anything you'd like to get off your chest before we shut the doors?
I hope everyone enjoys it. I hope everyone gets all the games they want, and can't wait to talk to you about it. I can't wait to see it. Wednesday night, we're finally here. It's a great time to be a Nintendo fan.
And I echo that sentiment. Very exciting times. But till next time, guys, we will know everything about Switch 2. Everything. Bit too much. It's personal life. It's behind the scenes, how it got there. What it looks like naked with its plastic casing off. The motherboard just exposed there for all eyes to see. We'll know everything. But until then, guys, the doors of the House of Mario, they're closed. I'll catch you later.